Hi friends, today I am going to share with you my understanding about a wonderful drink, whiskey. Trust me, whiskey is whiskey. Whether Ireland and USA spell it as WHISKEY or rest of the world spells it as WHISKY, makes no difference. Whiskey is ultimately whiskey. Whiskey is one of the largest consumed alcoholic drinks in the world. It's an age-old drink. Manufacturing of whiskey can be traced to ancient Mesopotamia. European monasteries found this method of creating alcohol and took it to Scotland and Ireland. That was between 11th and 13th century, and rest is a history. Whiskey is generally made from grains. Grains like barley, wheat, corn, rye, millets, etc. Many times we see a label that mentions malt whiskey. The malt whiskey is from malted barley. Barley is soaked in water, then it is spread out to allow it to germinate. That takes about 6 to 7 days. Once germinated, this green malt is then dried in a kiln, kind of an oven. In some cases, peat is used while drying, and that gives a peculiar smoky flavor to the whiskey. Once dry, then it is grinded and transferred to mash tun. In mash tun, water gets added in 3 stages, from 67 degrees Celsius to almost boiling point. The mash tun facilitates the separation of wort from solid grain material, extracting as much fermentable sugar as possible. Enzymes play an important role in the process. Essentially, this is the process by which any grain can be used to produce alcohol, whether malted or not. Quality of water plays very important role in this process, and that makes the whiskey unique to a particular place. Now, wort, this sweet sugary liquid, undergoes for fermentation. The wort is cooled to 20 degrees Celsius and transferred to the washback. Then yeast is added and the fermentation starts. Fermentation dies after about 2 days, and what is produced is carbon dioxide, CO2, and a beer-like liquid with 6 to 8% alcohol. Some byproducts in the process provide some unique taste and flavor to fermented liquid. So, the quality of grain used assumes great importance. This fermented wash now goes to the pot stills. Pot stills are made from copper and are of different shapes and sizes. Pot stills again play a very important role for quality of the finished product. The pot stills are heated to less than boiling temperature for distillation. Alcohol has a lower boiling point than water, so it evaporates first. Pot stills have condensers at the top that convert vapors into liquid. The liquid that is collected has about 20% alcohol. This is known as a low wine. This again goes for second distillation. And after second distillation, the liquid collected has about 60 to 70% alcohol. When second distillation starts, initially collected liquid, known as foreshots or heads, and the liquid collected in the final stages, known as fents or tails, are kept separate, and these are mixed with a low wine for redistillation. Only middle distillate is used for further processing, and this is called as heart. Whiskies are distilled at least twice. Distillation is also done in the column stills. These are also known as coffee stills. Invented by Aeneas Coffee in 1830. Here, the yield is much higher, up to 95% compared to pot stills. American whiskies are made using the column stills or hybrid stills. The collected distillate is a colorless, fiery spirit that is reduced to maturing strength of 63% alcohol by volume and is filled into oak casks. These casks may be new or may have previously contained Scotch whisky, bourbon or sherry. Here, the maturation process begins and the casks impart their own flavors, aroma and taste to the whiskey. During maturation, the evaporation loss is about 2% per year, and this is called as the angel's share. Scotch must be matured for minimum 3 years. It's a legal requirement. Longer the maturation period, better is the whiskey. And that's why whiskies aged 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 21 years are more and more expensive. Maturation makes whiskey smooth. As mentioned, cask impart its own unique flavor and aroma, and the whiskey is now ready for blending if needed or for bottling. Once done, the product finds its way to the marketplace for the whiskey drinkers. In my next video, I will talk about the casks, blending, and few other interesting aspects of this wonderful drink. Till then, enjoy your drink and bye.